Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
I'm following a front that could bring us some light rain, especially this evening. I'll show you the timeline for today's showers.
And lines at the airport. Today is one of the busiest travel days of the year. We'll bring you the outlook from anyone with a flight out of RD International this morning. And a new family responsibility zone, Durham School's newest solution to the bus driver shortage, why school buses will no longer run in some neighborhoods.
And we are taking your phone calls in the WRAL lobby for coats for the children, $8,500 so far, and it keeps on going. We'll check in with our call center coming up.
Depending on you today. So happy you're with us here in the 8 o'clock hour on Fox 50. I'm Ken Smith. Let's go ahead and get back to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking how our day is shaping up.
It is cloudy out there and not too cold. Tracking this next front, most of the moisture will stay to the north. We'll have just enough swing through here later on this afternoon that we could see a few isolated showers. Not out of the question to see a few more sprinkles this morning. We saw some of those around sunrise. And then after sunset, we could see a little bit of light rain with the front coming through. And we'll take a look at that coming up on Futurecast. Checking out North Hills, it is a gray start with 43 degrees, so it's chilly, but not nearly as cold as what we'll see over the weekend. Hour by hour, our highs this afternoon climb into the low 50s, which is not too far from normal. And then if you're headed out for some evening plans, you may want to take along the umbrella. We do have that slight chance for showers. Then over the weekend, we see another Arctic blast. I'll show you when overnight lows will dip into the teens. Coming up, Anthony.
As we check out the roads this morning, Elizabeth, we do have a crash to tell you about. This one has been causing some big-time delays there. I-540 westbound at Leesville Road. You can see those sensors are in the red all the way back past Creedmoor Road right there. That's something to keep in mind if you are headed in that direction. We're going to see some slowdowns there, unfortunately. One other crash here, I-540 westbound at Gresham Lake Road. This one is not causing any major issues, but that's something I'll keep an eye on for you as we go through the next couple of hours. Otherwise, here, one more for you, Durant Road southbound at Capitol Boulevard. Again, the sensors are in the green at this point.
Well, if your holiday plans include flying somewhere, prepare to wait in lines at the airport. Today is expected to be one of the busiest days for people flying to their destinations. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live at RD International for us this morning. Kelsey, there's been an ebb and flow in terms of foot traffic out there this morning.
Ken, in the last half hour, we told everyone about this long line here at Frontier, so we'll give you a live look now at the progress that they're making. So employees have arrived. We heard from one of the passengers that Frontier usually has their employees arrive to start checking in before 2 hours before their first flight. So the first Frontier flight was around 9:30 this morning, so employees started showing up just after 7:30. We also spoke with Clayton Harrington earlier this morning. He's traveling to California. He missed his 5 a.m. flight after arriving to the airport 1 hour before takeoff.
Ain't nothing you can do. Just sit here and wait. Ain't no need to be mad. Well, and it's Christmas, so yeah, and there's reasons sometimes that we miss flights. You never know.
And we'll also give you a live look, too, at outside of Terminal 2. You can see a lot of folks dropping off their loved ones right now. And if you are picking up your loved ones from the airport, the airport recommends that you wait in the cell phone lot. That's the lot that is right beside the rental car area. That way, you wait for your loved one. They can just give you a call, and then you can pick them up from there. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live at RDU.
Well, the roads are going to be busy as well. AAA projecting nearly 90% of holiday travelers will be driving to their destinations. The agency says the best time to travel today is before 11 o'clock this morning. You may run into some traffic jams between 1 this afternoon and 8 p.m. If you need to fill up your tank this morning, here's what you can expect. AAA releasing its newest data around 3 o'clock this morning. In Raleigh, the average cost today is $2.87. That's 10 cents less than what it was this time a year ago. Across North Carolina, it's $2.84. That's 11 cents less than a year ago. And nationwide, it's $3.05, 5 cents less than what it was last year. Well, we're working to learn more about a shooting in a Cary neighborhood. We know a woman was shot at least twice. This happened around 8 last night on Berry Chase Way. That's near the intersection of McCrimmon Parkway and Davis Drive. At least 9 Cary police cruisers were blocking the entrance to the neighborhood when the WRAL breaking news tracker arrived. The woman who was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. We're working to get an update about her condition and whether police have anyone in custody at this time. Well, families living near 21 elementary schools in Durham will no longer see school buses sent to their neighborhoods. It's part of a Durham Public Schools' new plan to address its ongoing bus driver shortage. The school board voted last night to implement what it's calling a family responsibility zone. That means no bus service will run within 1.5 miles of those elementary schools. The school system says that will save 20 bus routes and 7 school bus runs. One board member brought up concerns about safety for kids who will have to walk to those schools. Also, parents expressed their frustration with these temporary solutions to address the bus driver shortage.
What I care about as a parent of 2 DPS students, scholars, is how and will they be able to get to school for the remainder of the 24-25 school year and beyond.
Well, all parents right now are already being asked to get their kids to school at least once each week as the district consolidates its bus routes. That bus policy will extend at least through January 17th. Well, today a man charged with stabbing another man to death in Raleigh is in jail 26 years after that crime. Eduardo Gonzalez is now in custody. He's charged with killing 36-year-old Bernard Walker on Gaston Street in December 1998. Police first linked Gonzalez to the crime in 2008 when investigators matched his palm print to one recovered from the scene. But Gonzalez was deported back in 2002. He was detained by U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents in Arizona last month before being transferred to Raleigh police custody yesterday. Well, today is our annual Coats for the Children Day of Giving. We are so proud to be partnering with the Salvation Army to help families needing a little extra help this time of year. WRAL's Brett Neese live at the Salvation Army this morning. I know, Brett, volunteers are ready for those coats to start coming in.
Oh, Ken, good morning. They absolutely are. This is a big day at the Big Five because of how important this Coats for the Children campaign is. So here in our donation center, I got to go through some of these coats. This is our infant and toddler section. Look at some of these coats that have already come in. Oh, this great orange one right there and some of these other patterns. These are so important because of what the need is like right now in our community with the rising costs of living. The need is greater than ever before, and more people are asking the Salvation Army for help than ever before. More people that, usually haven't had to do so. And they help over 140,000 people in our viewing area alone throughout the year. Your donation in this campaign affects all of those people. It stays right here in our community. It doesn't go anywhere else. And I think that's why, one of the biggest reasons why this campaign is so important. You can donate in so many different ways, different monetary donations. You can drop off a coat either here at the Salvation Army, at any area Jiffy Lube. We have our website where you can make an online secure donation, WRAL.com/coats. And then, of course, we have our phone bank, our phone number that you can call all day long. This campaign, this drive is going to help so many families and so many kids stay warm throughout the year. And so we're going to be doing this throughout the day, and we're going to be checking back in with you, Ken, in just a little bit. Live in Raleigh, Brett Neese, WRAL News.
We live in such a generous community. We're depending on you today again. We will have coverage throughout the day, including 2 live specials coming up at 1 this afternoon and at 7 this evening. Stick with us throughout the day. Keep in mind, just giving a little can help a lot. We've got lots more to share with you here in the 8 o'clock hour. Thousands of Amazon workers on the picket lines ahead of the holidays. What the company is saying about how the strike will affect last-minute gift shipping. I want to give you a live look at our phone bank set up here in the WRAL studios, where we're busy taking your calls for the Coats for the Children Day of Giving. We'll check in with WRAL's Michelle McConaughey after the break.
Here on the WRAL weather patio, where I'm very happy to have a coat because it is chilly. It's also gray. And coming up, I'll talk about what our chances are for rain today.
8:12. Good morning, Zebulon, as we take a live look at the historic town hall there in your community. As always, we thank you for watching WRAL News, available on Spectrum and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. It's definitely chilly outside, so let's go ahead and get back to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner out on the WRAL weather patio, and you're dressed appropriately, Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind, wearing the big giant coat. I just hate to be cold. But it's not too bad out here. Temperatures are in the 40s. We take a live look across the region. Here's Fayetteville. Cloudy skies there, as well as Apex and Raleigh there at North Hills and Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant, with gray skies everywhere. We're not likely to see much sunshine today. Earlier this morning, right around sunrise, we did see a few isolated showers along and east of I-95. That is over, but we still will have enough moisture and some lift in the atmosphere on and off this morning and into the afternoon, just for a few light showers. Notice most of the rain with this is up near the low, which is just sort of southeast of Chicago. Lots of snow with the system, but you look at Tennessee, Kentucky, and there's not much rain with it. However, here's the way things will likely look this afternoon. For us, we'll kick things off here this morning and roll through time. Notice that we're pretty quiet through 9 o'clock and even through lunchtime. Maybe even we'll see a few holes in the clouds. But then when the front gets closer to us, you can see it almost develops a line. That's going to be at 5 p.m. This does not look like it will affect the evening commute, but it does look like if you have dinner plans or you're headed to a movie or a show, you could see an isolated shower from the Triangle area westward. So to be on the lookout for that. After that, we're going to be nice and dry. After that 20% chance of rain today, we're looking at dry conditions for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So your travel forecast ahead of the holidays looks fine. It will be much colder, though. Winter officially begins on Saturday, and you can see the yellow color contours. That's where temperatures are close to normal. We get this big drop in our temperatures. See those purple shaded areas? That's where temperatures really, really fall. There's a 65% chance of snow between now and Christmas in Boone, and a big old 0 chance for us. Instead, it gets milder for us for Christmas. Christmas Eve, 51. Christmas Day, 54. We'll see mostly cloudy skies on Christmas Day and a small chance of a shower on Thursday. But right now, it definitely looks dry for Christmas and for Hanukkah. Coming up, though, we're going to talk more about the Arctic blast that's on the way and the wind chills for tomorrow.
Elizabeth, as we get a check here on traffic this morning, we do have a crash that's in, it looks like the clearing stages because the emergency vehicles are now, they've moved on their way. But still, if you're headed in this direction, I-540 at Leesville Road, the far left lane was blocked. It looks like they now have this on the shoulder. If you can, though, still get over to those right 2 lanes. Let the first responders work out there and just give them some room. Otherwise, we'll continue to watch that one pretty closely. Still some major backups, though, with this one, unfortunately. There's where the crash is, I-540 westbound at Leesville. It stretches all the way, though. There's Creedmoor Road even beyond that. So if you're headed in that direction, just keep that in mind. That's definitely going to be a slowdown this morning. Another crash that looks like it actually just cleared up. We had one on I-540 right there. That one is clear, but we'll continue to watch that other one on I-540 coming up here in just a few minutes.
Anthony, thanks. Well, our phone bank is open, and we're ready to take your calls for this year's Coats for the Children Day of Giving. WRAL's Michelle McConaughey monitoring the phone bank for us this morning. How's it going, Michelle?
Ken, it is going so great here in the WRAL lobby. We have the North Carolina Commissioned Officers Association here with us, taking phone calls. They just got here a couple minutes ago, and they are already answering the phones. The phones are ringing off the hook. I just learned $10,300 so far. Absolutely incredible. Every little bit helps. 919-595-5005 is the number that you can call. You can also go to WRAL.com/coats to make a secure donation. And all of those donations, they stay local in our community. The Salvation Army serves over 140,000 people. So you know when you are donating that money, it is staying local and helping our community members here. Anything you can give helps. $25, $50, $100, whatever you can give helps a lot.
Absolutely. Giving a little can help a lot. Michelle, thanks. Our news continues now. A 16-year-old now charged with killing a 17-year-old in Durham earlier this week. The shooting happened outside an apartment complex on South Roxborough Street late Tuesday night. The 16-year-old was arrested yesterday and charged with murder. Neighbors who spoke with WRAL said people in their community need to come together and stop the culture of violence.
We have to attack the problem at hand. We can't run when the situation gets too difficult to handle. We have to attack it.
The Durham Housing Authority owns many of the apartment complexes in that area. Earlier this week, it announced a mutual parting ways with CEO Anthony Scott. Some people we spoke with say they're hopeful a change in leadership could lead to safer neighborhoods. The Wally store owner convicted in the stabbing death of a man will spend between 5 to 7 years in prison. Taz Zarka is the owner of Taz's Supermarket in downtown Raleigh. This week, a jury found him guilty of voluntary manslaughter in the stabbing death of Mark Garrity. Zarka had claimed self-defense, saying Garrity was trying to steal a Gatorade. Well, a man accused of killing the CEO of the United Healthcare may face the death penalty if he's convicted on federal charges. Luigi Mangione made his first appearance in a New York courtroom yesterday. He's facing murder charges on both the federal and state level in the killing of Brian Thompson on a New York street earlier this month. A federal complaint reveals new details about the handwritten notebook authorities found when Mangione was arrested last week. It's said to contain writings that expressed hostility toward the health industry and wealthy executives in particular. Well, U.S. diplomats are in Syria this morning for the first time since President Bashar al-Assad was ousted earlier this month. They're in Damascus to hold talks with the country's new leaders. They're also trying to find missing American journalist Austin Tice. The Defense Department announced yesterday the number of American troops in Syria has doubled. They say this is an effort to support the fight against ISIS. Well, President Biden is planning to visit the Vatican next month to meet with Pope Francis. The trip is expected to happen in the final days of the president's term. It could be his last international trip as president. As a devout Catholic, the trip will likely be a highly personal one for President Biden. January's visit will be the 6th time the president has met with this pope and his 2nd as president. A nationwide strike of unionized Starbucks workers will start today. The union calling Starbucks United says strikes will begin in L.A., Chicago, and Seattle. More cities will join throughout Christmas Eve. The union says Starbucks has failed to meet its demands for immediate or future pay raises. And thousands of Amazon workers will be on the picket lines again this morning. Chanley Painter breaks down their demands and how the company believes the strike will affect holiday shoppers.
As shoppers make last-minute purchases for Christmas, one of the biggest companies in the country could have some issues getting all the presents out on time. Amazon workers with the International Brotherhood of Teamsters at 7 facilities initiated a strike on Thursday after it said the company missed a deadline for contract negotiations.
They refused to do that. They've refused all the other deadlines that we've set for them. So now they've left us with no choice.
Teamsters General President Sean O'Brien says issues with Amazon started prior to the holiday season.
We've been dealing with this company and their games and antics for almost 2.5 years now. Enough's enough.
The Teamsters represent about 10,000 of Amazon's 800,000 workers, but haven't said how many are participating in strikes. Teamsters! Striking members are calling for a new labor agreement to include higher wages.
We want to be able to pay our bills and take care of our families.
Some workers on the picket line say the strike is meant to target the company and not the customers.
We hope everybody gets their packages on time. That's up to Amazon.
Meanwhile, Amazon says the strike will not impact its business and people on the picket lines do not work for the company, but instead are outsiders meant to intimidate their employees.
They've even petitioned NLRB to say that what we're doing is illegal, which it's not illegal.
That was Chanley Painter reporting. Now, a family in Apex caught a thief in the act on their doorbell camera. This video shows a person getting onto the porch, picking up a package that had been delivered and walking away with it. The homeowner says that box contained a laptop computer her husband bought for her for Christmas. She says the nonchalant way the person walked right up and took it is disturbing.
It's just hard to think that somebody would just think that they could come without even a mask on and just take it off the front porch.
Well, the Wake County Sheriff's Office says it has seen a specific increase in iPhones, Apple Watches, and iPads being stolen off porches. Now, prevent yourself from becoming the next victim. Make sure you grab your delivery as soon as you can get it. Meanwhile, the Durham Police Department's Operation No Perch packages start today and runs through January 6th. They recommend you don't put the packaging from your new holiday gifts on the curb. Instead, take it to a local recycling center. Well, before Governor Roy Cooper leaves the governor's mansion, he made sure to honor one of his basketball heroes. It was a true Carolina Blues sporting event last night. UNC basketball coach Roy Williams was honored. The governor called him one of the greatest winners and finest teachers of the game and gave him the state's highest honor.
Land of the longleaf pine, the summer land where the sun does shine, where the weak grow strong and the strong grow great. Here's to down home, the old North State. Coach Roy Williams, congratulations.
So well deserved. Williams will always be remembered for his role in 3 national championships at UNC Chapel Hill, and now this. Well, today the Raleigh Rescue Mission will feed hundreds of people. More than 100 volunteers will be there to deliver hundreds of meals across Wake County. This is video from the previous year. It all starts around 9 o'clock this morning. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot worth $825 million. How about that? That's the 7th biggest jackpot ever. If you elect the cash option, your take home would be around $382 million. You can watch the drawing right on WRAL News right before our 11 o'clock news on WRAL. Well, the FAA is cracking down on drone flights in New Jersey. The new rules being put in place during widespread concerns about drone sightings. And it is a busy morning at RD International. The lines and delays we're seeing as the holiday travel season ramps up. That's all coming up in our next half hour right here on Fox 15.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning at 8:26. I'm Ken Smith. Let's get right out to the WRAL weather patio and check in with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, tracking a very chilly morning for us.
It's chilly out here and gray, too. We take a live look at Wilson. Whirligigs are spinning around a little bit. We're going to see some breezy conditions this afternoon and tomorrow, and that's really going to affect the way things feel. But for today, we're looking at milder temperatures, a small chance of rain this morning. It's a 30% chance this evening, right about the time you might be headed out to dinner or to a show. But it will be light, and it's not going to stick around for long. 39 in Lewisburg right now, 44 in Irwin, 41 in Rocky Mount. So it's not terribly cold right now. Our afternoon highs will climb into the low 50s. And so to make sure you have that raincoat or umbrella for this evening.
And we get a check on the roads this morning. Here's a look at the major approaches into Raleigh. We have about a 4-minute delay US 1 south from Wake Forest. But the one I want to make you aware of as far as a crash is concerned is this one that we've been watching, I-540 at Leesville Road. The good thing with this one is it's off on the shoulder now. All of those roads, or the lanes, I should say, are open. That was not the case here even about 15 minutes ago. But it's still causing some issues. If you're headed in this direction, making progress, but still those sensors are in the red up toward Creedmoor Road.
A woman was shot at least twice in a Cary neighborhood. This happened around 8 last night on Berry Chase Way. The woman was shot, taken to the hospital. We're working to get an update about her condition and whether police have anyone in custody at this time. The 2024 Codes for the Children Day of Giving is well underway. You're looking live at the WRAL lobby where we have a phone bank set up. You can help by donating through the number or the website on your screen. We will have coverage throughout the day, including 2 live specials coming up at 1 o'clock this afternoon and 7 o'clock this evening. Next on Fox 15, updates on the case against the man accused of a Raleigh shooter, Austin Thompson.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number 1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
This morning, I'm tracking a front that could bring us a few showers, especially this evening, and then some colder air behind it. I'll show you what to expect.
And it's a busy travel day at RD International. What you need to know about long lines and possible delays ahead of your holiday trip. And our Codes for the Children Day of Giving well underway. You're looking live at our phone bank set up here at the WRAL studios, taking your donations this morning. WRAL's Brett Neese will join us also to let you know how your generosity will help families needing a little extra help this time of year. So glad you're with us here on Fox 50. I'm Ken Smith. Let's go ahead and get right back out to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL weather patio, tracking our cool temperatures this morning.
It is chilly out here. Temperatures are in the low to mid 40s, and we do have the potential for some showers. It's a small chance this morning, just a 20% chance. And then after the evening commute, around dinner time, or if you're going to be headed out to maybe a movie or a show, that's about the time that we would see that potential for some isolated showers. And we'll walk through that with Futurecast coming up. A live look at the gardens behind me. Definitely cloudy, cool, but quiet, 43 degrees. Our wind is coming out of the northeast, so it has a little bit of a chill to it, and it's slightly damp as well. We're going to see a high this afternoon of 51, which is not too far from normal for this time of year. And again, we'll have that chance of some evening showers. The next thing that happens is the cold air returns. We'll start to feel that tomorrow. Coming up, I'll talk about how cold the wind chill will make it feel.
And checking in with the roads this morning, here's a look at our I-40 delays, which at the moment we're not seeing any, which is good. All of those sensors are in the green for us. They're currently on I-40. We have been following, though, a crash in I-540. That's been causing some slowdowns, which I'll show you here in a second. Otherwise, though, those major approaches into Durham also looking pretty good. 98 there, about a 3-minute delay. You can see that crash, though, there on I-540 closer to Leesville Road. That one has been causing some issues, but it is in the clearing stages at this point. About a 4-minute delay, US 1 south from Wake Forest. All those other major approaches, though, into Raleigh looking good this morning.
Anthony, thanks. Well, prepare for long wait times at the airport if you're flying to your destination. This is a live look outside RD International, where the busy year-end travel season well underway. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live at the airport this morning. So, Kelsey, set the scene for us. What's the foot traffic looking like?
We're seeing long lines here at RDU as folks are checking in to get on their flights to their holiday destinations. RDU is expecting to see peak numbers between today and the Monday after Christmas. We'll take you to video now from earlier this morning. You can see that long line of folks checking in with American Airlines. It seems like that was the busiest airline this morning. We spoke with Clayton Harrington. He's traveling to California. He missed his flight after arriving at the airport 1 hour before takeoff.
Definitely need to be here at least 2 hours early, no doubt. Because if you have to have any assistance, you will stand in that line for a while. And it's the holiday. And it's the holiday, so it's only going to get worse every day.
If you're picking up guests from the airport over the next few days, RDU recommends waiting for them in the cell lot. That's the free parking lot that's right near the rental car area. You can wait for your loved ones there, have them give you a call, and then just pull up to the curb. It's an easy way to avoid all that traffic. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News at RDU.
Well, the roads are going to be busy as well. AAA projecting nearly 90% of holiday travelers will be driving to their destinations. The agency says the best time to travel today is before 11 o'clock this morning. Now, you may run into some traffic jams if you're on the road between 1 this afternoon and 8 p.m. If you need to fill up your tank, here's what you can expect. AAA releasing its newest data around 3 o'clock this morning. In Raleigh, the average cost today is $2.87. That's 10 cents less than what it was about a year ago. All across North Carolina, that figure is $2.84. That's 11 cents less than a year ago. And nationwide, it's $3.05. 5 cents less than what it was this time last year. Other news this morning, we're working to learn more about a shooting in a Cary neighborhood. We know a woman was shot at least twice. This happened around 8 o'clock last night on Berry Chase Way. That's near the intersection of McCrimmon Parkway and Davis Drive. At least 9 Cary police cruisers were blocking the entrance to the neighborhood when the WRAL breaking news tracker arrived. The woman who was shot was taken to a nearby hospital. We're working to get an update on her condition and whether or not police have anyone in custody. We've learned the names of at least 3 charged after shooting in Chapel Hill. 19-year-old Fabian Swin, 19-year-old Adrian Milton, and 21-year-old Darius Haley are all charged with attempted murder, breaking and entering a motor vehicle, among other charges. This is video you'll see only on WRAL. Sky 5 flying over the scene in Orange County where police took the 3 men into custody. Chapel Hill police telling us they responded to a call about people breaking into vehicles yesterday and the men fired shots at witnesses. No one was hurt, though. Police chased them north into Orange County where other agencies got involved. A neighbor told us he was surprised at the number of police officers.
I could see 20, and then I started driving and I saw about another 10 up that road. So, I mean, altogether, I would guess maybe 30, 35 cop cars in the area as a whole.
Of course, this investigation continues. Deputies recovered 2 firearms. The trial date previously set for the teenager charged in the 2022 Raleigh mass shooting will stand. A judge made that decision during a case status hearing yesterday. As of now, the case against Austin Thompson will go to trial on September 25th of next year. A hearing involving the judge and attorneys will be held January 21st. Thompson is accused of killing 5 people and seriously injuring 2 others in the Hedingham community, and this all happened back in October 2022. I want to give you a live look now at the U.S. Capitol, where lawmakers have just a few hours left to reach a deal to avoid a government shutdown. It's growing closer after the House rejected a spending bill backed by President-elect Donald Trump. The showdown in D.C. ramped up earlier this week after a bipartisan bill was scrapped. Trump, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance, and Trump's close ally Elon Musk pressured Republicans to reject it. The bill Trump pushed would have suspended the debt ceiling for 2 years. Lawmakers say they will work throughout the day to try to reach an agreement. We're going to be keeping an eye on things in Washington today as that deadline approaches. Tune into our newscast starting at 4 this afternoon until 7:30 this evening for any new information. A rare sight on Thursday Night Football. A series of events at the end of the first half gave the LA Chargers a chance for an unusual free kick, and it ended up to be a field goal with 3 points with no time on the clock. Cameron Dickham made the on-post kick from 57 yards. It's the first time a field goal of its time has been made in the NFL since 1976. The kick sparked the Chargers to a second-half comeback against the Denver Broncos. They scored 24 points straight and held on for a 34-27 win. Well, don't forget, we have Saturday games this weekend in the NFL. Chiefs versus the Texans on WRAL, Steelers versus the Ravens right here on Fox 50. And on Sunday at 1 p.m., the Commanders taking on the Eagles on Fox 50. And then on WRAL, Buccaneers versus the Cowboys. Well, annual Coats for the Children Day of Giving is here, and we are so proud to be partnering with the Salvation Army to help families needing a little extra help this time of year. WR's Brittany's live at the Salvation Army this morning. So, Brett, how's it going there?
Yeah, Ken, this is just such a big day for the Big Five, and I got a special guest with me, Major Charles Whiten with the Salvation Army. Major Whiten, this is just such an important campaign for so many people in our area. Can you just talk about the importance of these donations?
Absolutely. This morning it was a little chilly. The weather's turning. I reached in my closet. I grabbed a coat. And we just don't realize how many families are struggling in crisis and a coat's not within reach. So the WRAL Coats for the Children campaign is crucial for us to make sure everybody has the gift of a coat on their backs during this cold winter months.
Yeah, and you guys help in our viewing area over 140,000 people. Just talk about these donations, people that are going to be donating throughout the day, these coats, the money, it stays right here.
Absolutely, and there are so many families in need in our area. And so to help a neighbor, such a great gift that we get when we give, and certainly it's the idea of the hope that families see, that people care about their situation, the trouble they're going through, and it warms their heart not as well as their body. So it's a great way to engage and help your friends.
When you guys hand out these coats, the gifts and everything else this time of year, I mean, it's for you personally, and then just for all of the volunteers, it's got to be just such a great way to give back.
Absolutely. It's fun. Like you see the coats behind us, and kids and adults can come and they get to pick their coat. And I remember the one little girl that found like a Winnie the Pooh with the little balloons. And, it's just it's great moments that warm your heart to see the impact it makes.
Well, thanks, Major, for joining us here this morning. And, there are plenty of ways to donate. We have our website, WRAL.com/coats. You can also donate through the phone. We have our phone bank rolling right now. And if you want to drop off, either here at the Salvation Army, Jiffy Lube locations throughout our viewing area, make sure you donate. We're going to be checking in with you throughout the rest of the day. Live in Raleigh, Brittany's WRAL News.
Yeah, I'll be live at the Jiffy Lube on Western Boulevard at noon today. So come on by and say hello, drop off a coat. I'll be happy to see you. We'll have coverage throughout the day, including 2 live specials, one at 1 o'clock this afternoon and again at 7 p.m. this evening. Stick with us throughout the day and always keep this in mind. Giving a little can mean a whole lot. Well, after the holiday season is over, there's still ways to keep the spirit alive. Coming up, the benefits of recycling your Christmas tree. And the Man of Steel getting a new movie. A first look at the new Superman trailer just ahead.
And the phones are ringing here in the WRAL lobby for Coats for the Children. More than $10,000 so far this morning has been raised. We'll tell you exactly where your money is going to next.
Pleasant good morning to our loyal viewers up there in Wilson. We're taking a live look at the whirly gigs, and they are spinning in the wind this morning under some cloudy skies. We so appreciate that. You need to grab your heavy coats because you will need it in the next day or two. Let's get right out to the WRAL weather patio with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking our weather conditions.
I'm definitely happy to have a coat here. And of course, that is the theme of the day, is how you can bring warm coats to children in our area. We're going to talk more about that in just a little while. Here is a look at where the cold air is coming from. You see our front, behind that front around Omaha, St. Louis. That's where we have Arctic air that's going to come diving into our area. Along the front, we'll have just a small chance for rain. You can see most of the rain is around that low, which is just south and east of Chicago, and it will mainly stay to our north. But here's a look at Futurecast and how everything is likely to transpire. There could be a few holes in the clouds between now and lunchtime. As a matter of fact, looking around here, I can see just a little bit of blue. It's mostly gray, but there are a few holes in the clouds, even here outside on the patio. A quick sprinkle is possible, but we'll end up with a better chance for some rain as we get closer to the evening. Look at that, almost a line that develops there at 5 o'clock back to our west. It wouldn't be out of the question to see maybe even a few thunderstorms in our southern counties as this moves on in. But it doesn't really hold together. Watch what happens. I'm going to put this into motion and we'll pause it there at 7 o'clock. At that point, it's starting to fall apart. And by the time we get to, say, 9 o'clock, it's over with. But if you are going to be heading out for dinner or to a movie or to a show this evening, you could run into some showers, especially from the Triangle area westward. We take a live look at the gardens right now, and our temperatures are chilly, 43 degrees. Our dew point is 39, so it is a little damp, a little moist out. Our Coats for the Children telethon continues all day. And you can go to WRAL.com and give anytime, even after today. This afternoon, we'll see a high of 52, a few showers this evening. It's a chilly day, but nothing compared to what we'll likely see. We've seen temperatures close to normal the last day or two, and then the Arctic outbreak comes right out of Canada and drops into our area. We're looking at those purple shaded areas, really bringing us some cold temperatures. Saturday, 48 degrees, and we look at the wind chill. It's likely to feel more like 38 degrees. So some really cold air that's coming our way as we get through the next several days. So just keep that in mind. The coldest morning will be Monday at 19. Sunday's high temperature only 40 degrees, but it is a little warmer for Christmas and Hanukkah, back into the mid-50s.
Well, Elizabeth, with those cold temperatures ahead, our phone bank is open and we're ready to take your calls for the WRAL's Coats for the Children Day of Giving. Let's check in with WRAL's Michelle McConaughey, monitoring the phone bank for us this morning. How's it going out there?
It is going great, Ken. We have the North Carolina Commissioned Officers Association here taking your calls. You can hear the phones ringing behind me. Antonia here, she has gotten a pretty good donation. How much did you get?
$500.
$500, and that is adding on to the more than $10,000 that we have seen so far just this morning. More than $10,000. It is absolutely incredible. Any little bit helps. Let me just go through what your money buys. $25. So if you have $25 to spare, it buys a cozy hat, gloves, and a scarf. $50 will buy a warm coat, and $125 will buy you a complete winter outfit. And all of the money, all of your donations are staying local to the county where you are making your donation to. It is absolutely incredible. All coat donations are needed, but specifically infant and toddler sizes and those larger coat sizes, extra large and extra large. You can drop off a coat at any area, Jiffy Lube, or you can go to WRAL.com/coats. But again, more than $10,000 so far this morning, and that number is only going to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Hearing those phones ring, music to our ears. Our news continues now. There are new restrictions on drones in New Jersey as people there are worried about unexplained activity. The FAA announcing new rules aimed to limit drone flights over power stations and infrastructure. They also require drones to fly no higher than 400 feet in the air. The new rules will be in place until at least January 17th. Officials say there's no public safety or national security threat related to the drone sightings. There were a few fewer border crossings reported in November than in any other month of the Biden administration. U.S. Customs and Border Protection says there were 124,000 undocumented migrants at the nation's borders last month. That's down from nearly 143,000 in October. There were 46,000 illegal crossings at the southwestern border in November. That's less than a quarter of the number from last November.
It's loving good here in the WRAL Live Center. Ken, I want to take our viewers overseas right now to Damascus in Syria, where right now a U.S. delegation is set to speak with the new leaders of Syria this morning. You'll see them getting ready for a press conference there. And the big topic of discussion is what happens now that Bashar al-Assad is no longer the president of that country. You'll remember in recent weeks he was ousted, causing quite a bit of a political upheaval in that country. And so some people may be listening to this story wondering why the United States should care about this. Well, because that area is considered a strategic location for the United States politically, especially when you consider the fact that we have a conflict ongoing with the Houthi rebels in southern Syria. As for what the new leadership means for that country, we should be finding that out here in just a couple of minutes, it sounds like.
Well, this morning, 2 students with life-threatening injuries from Monday's school shooting in Wisconsin remain in the hospital. We've also learned the FBI detained a 20-year-old California man they say was in contact with the suspected shooter, 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow. Federal agents say they saw messages from Alexander Pendoff to the teenager. Pendoff's neighbor, Alex Gallego, says the law enforcement searching Pendoff's San Diego home the day after the Wisconsin shooting.
Hours into it, towards the end, they're carrying out a big black box.
Well, court documents reveal he admitted during an FBI interview that he told Rupnow he would arm himself with explosives and a gun, that he would target a government building. It's not clear if Pendoff has been charged with any crime. Authorities say Rupnow shot and killed a teacher, a fellow student, then turned a gun on herself. She later died at the hospital. Governor Roy Cooper will be in Western North Carolina today. At noon, he will be volunteering at the Asheville-Buncombe Community Christian Ministries Servant Leadership Center. Cooper will be there handing out food and supplies to people needing a little extra help this time of year. He will also visit with volunteer organizations involved with the relief effort after Helene. Well, Christmas is less than a week away, and people in Wake County can keep the holiday spirit alive after that by recycling their live Christmas trees. Trees dropped off will be turned into mulch to strengthen and beautify park trails all across the county. The program runs from December 26th to January 26th at the 8 drop-off locations. Recycling is free, but be sure to remove all the decorations first. The convenience centers are open daily from 7 in the morning until 7 p.m. You can find a location near you by going to wake.gov or by simply searching Happy Trails Christmas Tree Recycling Program, and all the information will be right there. First look at the upcoming Superman film and Paramount's new success from the creator of Yellowstone. Here's Douglas Hyde with the Hollywood Minute.
A brand new trailer is giving us our first look at the new Superman, and he's battered and bloodied.
Home. Take me home.
Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn wrote and directed the new Man of Steel adventure. David Corenswet suits up as Superman. Rachel Brosnahan plays Lois Lane, and Nicholas Hoult goes bald as longtime nemesis Lex Luthor. Superman soars into U.S. cinemas July 11th and internationally beginning July 9th.
Men die. Oil companies don't.
Yellowstone creator Taylor Sheridan's new show Landman has just become the most viewed original Paramount Plus show in the streamer's history. Nearly 15 million households have watched the drama through the first 4 weeks of its run. Set in the world of West Texas oil rigs, Landman boasts a cast led by Billy Bob Thornton, who's already received a Golden Globe nomination for his performance. In Hollywood, I'm Douglas Hyde.
Of course, we're in the thick of the holiday season, and there are tons of things to do this weekend in the Triangle. Let's get started with the Holiday Night Market in Cary. Discover a vibrant showcase of locally crafted treasures while immersing yourself in an evening of music and entertainment. The Cary Night Market is happening tonight from 5 until 9 at the downtown Cary Park. Triangle Performance Ensemble will present Black Nativity in Durham tonight. It's happening at Hillside High School starting at 8 o'clock. Tickets are $20 for general admission and $17 for seniors, students, and children. If you want to listen to some smooth tones this weekend, head to the WRAL to see Gene Jolly and the Mistletoes perform. I should say Gene Jolly and the Mistletoes. Let's say that correctly. The show starts tomorrow night at 8. Tickets are $30. For more on these events, head to WRAL.com and search Out and About. We're going to head to a break now. We'll give you a look right behind me. Dix Park and cloudy skies. We'll be back in a moment with more weather and traffic.